Hello tubers and welcome to the Pistol Lineman Workshop. Now I've made a purchase off of Amazon that may interest touring motorcyclists, adventure bikers and anyone who's doing a bit of distance, or anyone with a small petrol tank like a custom build chopper for example, that you just need a few more litres to keep you going down the road. This is what it is. It's a 5 litre jerry can, but this one's slightly different as it has a mounting point that you can put onto any sort of framework. It doesn't even have to be a motorbike, I suppose. This is from Viva with the slogan "Tough Tools, Half Price," which I do quite like on their little tag there. So what it comes with is a long studded locking cap. You can get it out, nice little noise there. Got a key point. That goes through the centre of your cam, and then you have a mounting piece that you can put on. You get these little U brackets. They go through, and you can put that on any form of bar, rod, bracket, anything you got. So I've got my ZRX here that I'm going to give it a go on the grab rail. I'm hoping that it's going to sit fairly nicely. I do have a trip on this soon, and this is bought for a purpose, not only just for me in case I get a bit low on fuel, but also people I'm riding with, which is good. You should always look out for one another when you're riding. You never know who's going to get caught short, come across an issue, or that fuel stops us a bit further away than you thought. So I'm going to mount this up. It looks very simple. It comes with the washers, some lock nuts, the key for the centre, 2 keys actually, so but that's afterwards once we put it on. So I'm gonna, one thing I've noticed that I may need is there's no kind of damp kind of protection from these. There's no rubber mounting part, so if you're a bit delicate on your paintwork, you might want to put something in it. But I'm going to line her up now and see if it works and see how it sits as well, because I've got an indicator and stuff at the back. But just for demonstration purposes, we'll put it on this one and see how we get on. So what I've immediately noticed trying to put this on, this is where I am. This is just the rear grab handle. The thickness of the handle is slightly different, so it's well, not tapered, but it gets narrower, I should say. One of them looks like it'll be alright, the other one is actually sticking that far through that it runs out of threads and it hits, it becomes part of the rod. As you can see that. So I will have to find something to pack it out with, and I might see if I've got a bit of old inner tube or something like that just to act as like an anti-slip and a bit of protection on that rail as well. So this is what I've done. I found a piece of rubber, I'll get in position here, which was an old bit of rubber sleeving from a headlight mount, one that wraps around the fork. Just had one kicking about, perfect size. I've trimmed it down slightly because it was too thick. So this has done 2 things. It's given me a bit of protection on the handle itself. Well, 3 things now actually. A bit of anti-slip, so it's more secure, and it's also packed out that gap where I was saying these studs were sticking through and not and gone too far, so it'd run out of thread. It's actually taken that up. Now I can pop that on there like so. Looks pretty true. And then that part with the lock screw, left hand screwing. Not the easiest thing to do. About there, and you can hear that lock that's flicking around as well, but that will lock up, and then motorcycle mounted jerry can for all your fueling needs. Right, let's get off the floor and I'll give my final views on this. So, my purchase. I'll put a link in the description below. It was £25. It wasn't Prime, but it took like 2 days to get here. Like, I think that's very reasonable. Installation, very easy. Like I said, I have had to modify it slightly, but that might just be where I've got it. If you've got, I've seen like purpose-built ones for like pannier boxes and stuff. If you've got a rig and a racking set up already, it might just bolt straight on. You never know, but I'm adapting with this bike here. Yet to be determined with actual fuel in it on the seal quality of the can, but it feels durable, so there's promising start there. And the locking mechanism, so no one can just walk off with it, which is pretty smart. Those nuts will be protected, so you can't just unbolt it because the can is then blocking the access to them, which is another good feature. And it does, where I've actually put it, it clears my indicator, it clears the seat. Even if I had a pillion, it probably wouldn't be in their way. So I think once I've used this, I can give a bit better feedback, so stay tuned for that. I might post something on the Facebook page. But in general, yeah, like I said, not much of a review, more of this is what I've just bought. But I hope it's inspired someone to think, oh, I could do with something like that, and it's relatively cheap. Because the closest other one that I found, which held less fuel, was about 60 quid, I think, because you had to buy a mount with it, where this is very simple. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe. See you again for the next one.